This is a tutorial on how to create a newsletter using iWorks Pages 09. You're first going to launch Pages, and when you launch, it's going to come up with a menu here. And you'll see on the left-hand side menu, there are a bunch of different templates that Pages has created that you can use. And for this project, we're going to go down to newsletters. And you can see on the newsletters that there's also a variety of templates from which you can choose. And for this project, I'm going to choose, I'll choose the club newsletter. So I'll double click on that and it will launch. One of the most important things that you guys can do, you guys are working in groups of 2 to 3, is you guys want to organize your material before you even start this opening Pages. You want to think what you typically get a newsletter for. Usually it's for some information that you're collecting, or about a business or a cause or something that you're interested in. So you really want to think about the purpose of the newsletter, and it's usually to share information. Okay. The second thing you want to think about is organizing the material. Okay. If you look at this newsletter here, the sample, you notice that you have a title right here, and that's easily changeable. All you do is you just click on it and it'll highlight, and then you can title it whatever you need to title it. Okay, you'll notice that exploration, I typed in exploration, it fell off the page. Okay, so what I need to do is I'm going to highlight, and up here there's a shortcut menu where I can change the size of the font. Right now it's on 70. I am going to, I'll do 48. Okay, and I'll change exploration to 48 as well. Okay. Let's say I want to change the color of this text. There's also the shortcut up here. I can also show colors if I prefer that. I'm going to use blue or purple. And then I also want to make sure that this line right here matches that as well. So as I click on this line, you'll notice that a different menu pops up. I'll do it again. You're noticing it up here. So this is the text menu shortcut, and then if I click on here, the little line, this is the image shortcut. So I'm going to click on here, and I'm going to do my purple. Okay, so that's how you work with objects and text. Some more advanced text features in Pages. If you click on the inspector, once again, you can do colors here. You can do text alignment. I'm going to select my text so we can see this better. You can align it right, you can align it left, center, middle, depending on what your preference is. You could also go to the ruler right over here, and let's say you like this flag or this little symbol up here, this, but you want to rotate it a little bit. Oops, this won't let me rotate it. I have to select the box. All right, say you want to rotate this a little bit. Okay, you can rotate that, move it around a little bit. So that's also an option with text or with images, really. I can select this image and I can rotate that if I need to, if that's appropriate for what I want to show. Other things, so I just moved sort of to images. Other things about images, these images that you see in this brochure, okay, this is an image here. These are simply placeholders. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to find your images, and you don't want them to be too large. Okay, your information is the most important part of the page, but you do want those visuals in there to sort of unify what you're trying to say. Okay, and you probably don't want more than 2 pictures per page. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the internet, and I'm going to type in my search term. It's kind of generic. I'm going to search under images. And I really want my image to relate to the content that I'm talking about. So I think I'm going to use this one right here. because I will be talking about trade routes. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag and drop my image right onto the desktop right there. Okay, that's one thing. The second thing I need to do is I need to cite that image. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the visit page option here. Okay, and I don't know if you guys have heard of easybib.com, but it's a place where you can easily do a bibliography, hence its name. Okay, so this looks like a wiki here. So that's where I'm getting this picture. It might be a teacher's wiki, it might be a student's wiki. I'd have to find that information. But simply what you're going to do is you're going to be using easybib.com to cite your sources. And in this case, I'm not using a website, a book, a newspaper. I'm using a digital image. So I'm going to select all 59 options. And I'm going to go down to digital image and select digital image. And it's essentially going to walk me through the processes that I need to do. Official image title, description, contributors, the URL, okay, which I'll paste into there. And then when you're done with it, it'll create the citation, and you can copy and paste that citation right onto your brochure, or if Mr. Wexler prefers, you can print it out afterwards. All right, so the next thing, let's go back to pages. So we have our image. I'm going to close out the inspector for now. And since this is a placeholder, we're just going to drag and drop our image right near the placeholder, right over the placeholder. You might see something called a mask. I'm going to insert a mask just so we have one here. Mask. I'll do a mask with shape. I'll show you what that looks like. And I'll do a polygon. That sounds like fun. Okay, so what I could do with my mask is I could do two things. I could zoom in on a specific location, okay, or I can make my mask a certain part of the certain shape of the actual image. Okay, this looks a little funky. Polygon wasn't the best thing to choose. And then I can zoom in if I wanted to specify which trade routes I was talking about. Okay, so masking is basically cropping, if you think of it that way. And that's what it will look like. There might be some other times where you want to put an image around text. And if you notice, when I move this image down here, the text will move with it. Okay, there's a special setting that you need to make sure that you use, and it's in the inspector. So if I select my picture and then go to this text here with the box around it, this is where you could say object causes wrap. Okay, so if I unselected that, then the object will just go over the text. But if I select object causes wrap, the text will wrap itself around. And you can see there are different options for wrapping text, and you just have to figure out visually which one makes the most sense and which one looks the best. So I think that's it for images. The other thing you might want to know, so this has a nice little yellow box around it. Unfortunately, you can't change this background. You'll just have to create a new shape. Okay, and then you can sort of match it. And then you can change the color of the shape in the little circle and square graphic. It's the graphic icon. Okay, and I'm going to change it to, maybe I'll have it that purplish color to match, to match the title that I have. And I might think that's a little too bold, so what I could do is I could make it a little bit lighter like that. Okay, and just as a FYI, all of your other things for graphics are here. So if you wanted a picture frame around it, you can choose that, sort of an old map look. If you wanted to make sure that your object had a shadow, you can shadow your object. change the angle, change the color of the shadow and whatnot. So that's all here, and the reflection is here. So that's all here under the graphic icon. For now, I'm going to get rid of this little purple icon here, and I'm going to get rid of my colors. I want to show you one more thing with text. So if I select a text box, and I decide that I want 3 columns or 1 column instead of the 2 column, I can go over here to my layout inspector, and then I can decide how many columns I want. I can do 3 columns, I could do 1 column, and you'll just have to decide based on the amount of information and how you organize your information. And then the last thing you'll probably know, if you need a second page, I believe you guys are doing 2 pages, you just go up to this pages up here, and you can choose from the theme that you've already chosen which type of layout you want. So I'm going to do 3 column and diagram. Okay, and then it adds this template in for me. Okay, this one has too many pictures for the project you're doing, so you probably want to fool around with getting rid of some images and adding maybe a column of text here. So about collaboration for this project, obviously Pages is not like Google. You can't collaborate on one document, but what you can do is you could have one of your partners look for images, one of your partners do a different section and work on the text, and then you can combine it all into one project at the end or as you go, depending on the time allowed.